You are walking past the same cracks in your driveway every day and you think nothing lives there. You are wrong. There is a plant crawling along the concrete right now that contains more omega-3 fatty acids than salmon leaf for leaf. Not by weight, not by supplement math, but biologically, a plant humans have eaten for at least 4,000 years. A plant that survived the collapse of empires, famines, and ice ages. And a plant modern society spends billions trying to erase. It grows where nothing else survives. It ignores drought, heat, salt, and neglect. And in 2022, scientists discovered it does something that was supposed to be impossible in plant biology. Not rare. Not unusual. Impossible. This is not a miracle story. This is a suppression story. In 1050 BC, in northern Greece, someone stored seeds inside a sealed clay vessel. When archaeologists opened it 3,000 years later, they did not find dust. They found thousands of intact seeds, each smaller than a grain of sand. The same plant was still growing outside the ruins. By the 7th century BC, these seeds appear in the Samian Heraion, one of the most important sanctuaries in the ancient world. By the 4th century BC, Theophrastus, the father of botany, was writing clear cultivation instructions for farmers, telling them exactly when and how to sow it alongside their essential crops. This was not a weed. Weeds are ignored. This was food. The Roman Empire spread it across 3 continents. Medieval Europeans ate it daily. In 1288, a Milanese chronicler named Bonvesan dalla Riva documented everything the city consumed. This plant appeared not as medicine, not as famine food, but as a staple. After 1492, it crossed oceans again. But here is where the official story breaks. When European settlers recorded it in Massachusetts in 1672, archaeologists later discovered it had already been in North America for thousands of years. Seeds in Ontario date to 1350, 80 seeds in Kentucky date to 800 BC. Indigenous societies had already integrated it into the Eastern agricultural complex alongside sunflower, squash, and chili. 2 civilizations separated by an ocean both reached the same conclusion independently. This plant mattered. The question is why. In 1960, physiologist Ansel Keys launched the 7-country study to understand why heart disease devastated some populations and barely touched others. He followed over 12,000 men for half a century. One population broke every nutritional model of the time. The farmers of Crete consumed diets high in fat, often over 35% of total calories. According to dominant theories, they should have been dying early. Instead, they had the lowest cardiovascular mortality rate ever recorded. For years, scientists credited olive oil. Then in the 1980s, researchers reanalyzed frozen blood samples, not for cholesterol, but for omega-3 fatty acids. The results were uncomfortable. Cretans had tripled the omega-3 levels of northern Europeans without eating more fish. The missing source was a plant they consumed daily. Fresh, cooked, raw, fed to animals, and recycled through the entire food chain. Purslane. The chickens ate it. The goats ate it. The people ate everything. In 1992, Dr. Artemis Simopoulos analyzed it directly. The numbers were absurd. 3 to 400 milligrams of alpha-linolenic acid per 100 grams of fresh leaves. 5 to 7 times more than spinach. 15 times more than iceberg lettuce. The richest vegetable source of omega-3 ever recorded. But that was not the strangest part. Land plants are not supposed to produce EPA. That is a marine fatty acid. Fish get it from algae. Plants do not make it purslane dose, in trace amounts, but consistently. Scientists initially suspected contamination. They were wrong. It also contains more vitamin E than spinach, more beta-carotene than carrots, melatonin, glutathione, and mineral concentrations that place it among the most nutrient-dense, edible plants ever tested. Then came the outcome data. The Lion Diet Heart Study followed heart attack survivors for 5 years. One group received the standard low-fat cardiac diet. The other consumed the Mediterranean pattern, rich in omega-3. 3 sources including The result was not subtle. 70% fewer deaths from all causes. Not fewer symptoms. Fewer funerals. The trial was stopped early because continuing the controlled diet was deemed unethical. So ask the obvious question. If this plant is real, if the data exists, if half the world still eats it, why is it labeled a weed? In 2022, a Yale research team studying drought-resilient crops published a paper that quietly shattered a core rule of photosynthesis. Plants are supposed to choose one strategy. C3 plants grow fast, but waste water. C4 plants tolerate heat, but still need moisture. Cam plants survive drought by opening pores at night, but grow slowly. Purslane does all of it. Scientists assumed it separated these systems into different tissues. It does not. Yale mapped gene expression and found C for photosynthesis during the day and CAM metabolism at night, operating inside the same cells. The outputs feed directly into each other. This is not switching modes. This is parallel processing. No other plant on Earth does this. It grows faster when it is hot. It loses less water when it is dry. It thrives in saline soil. It completes its life cycle on a fraction of the water corn requires. One plant produces hundreds of thousands of seeds. Those seeds can survive in soil for decades. Every stem fragment can root itself. Heat does not kill it. Drought does not kill it. This is not a fragile crop. This is an agricultural nightmare for any system built on control. The global herbicide market exceeded $40 billion. Entire product lines exist solely to eradicate this plant. Lawn associations ban it. Agricultural extension offices publish elimination guides. Not because it destroys ecosystems, because it cannot be patented. You cannot sterilize its seed. You cannot lock farmers into buying it every year. Every other Omega-3 source is monetized. Fish stocks are collapsing. Fish oil is processed, encapsulated, and sold back to you. Flax goes rancid. Supplements cost money. Purslane grows everywhere. Humans live and asks for nothing. India eats Italiano. Greece eats Italiano. Mexico eats Italiano. China never stopped cultivating it. Half the world remembers. The other half was taught to spray it. Climate models now predict crop failures in semi-arid regions first. Those are the exact conditions where purslane thrives. Corn shuts down above 95 degrees. Purslane accelerates. Wheat fails without rain. Purslane completes its life cycle on 6 inches. The solution is not futuristic. It is under your feet. Learn to recognize it. Red, smooth stems. Succulent, paddle-shaped leaves. Yellow flowers tucked low. Break the stem and it releases clear juice. Harvested young. Eat it raw, sautéed, pickled, blended, dried. Save the seeds. Share them. Every person who learns its name takes one step away from dependency. The most nutritious plants on Earth are often the ones we were taught to destroy. The Omega-3 industry does not want you to know the richest plant source grows for free. The agricultural industry does not want you to know the supercrop already exists. It is called It has been feeding humans for 4,000 years. And it is in your driveway right now. This is Lost Nature Vault. And the next vault opens soon.